Christy Code Red, author, entrepreneur, retired professional boxer, and welcome to another episode of Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle. As you can see, I'm doing an intro because I'm going to turn you loose to listen to our next guest. I'm super excited about our next guest because she comes to us from a different background than we normally hear people. And do you guys know I'm completely obsessed with cops? I am. I want to be a cop so bad. Every time Miles hears me say that, he's like, Christy, that's ridiculous. And I'm like, oh, hey, once I retire from Code Red, I'm going to go be a cop, but I'll probably be close to 50 by then. And every time I get pulled over, which thank you, Jesus, is not very often, I get recruited by the cop. We're looking for good police officers to join the department. I'm like, yeah, I know that, but Miles thinks I'm crazy. Anyway, I want to introduce to you Liz Weber. They call her Lightning Liz. And I'm just so excited that she has agreed to do an interview because she comes to us from a different background than we normally hear. She's very unique and different. And can I just do the spoiler alert? I don't know. Should I just go ahead and I got to tell you, because it is horrible for me to hear, but the other officers on the force called her Fat Butt. Yeah, Fat Butt. And it's awful, you guys. It's heartbreaking. So listen to her story. She's going to paint a picture for you about what she went through as a motor cop, as a police officer for 25 years. She is now retired, and she's living her best life. She's an author. She's a speaker, and she's doing her future is absolutely limitless at this point. So, and she is a part of my VIP program, my Rebel for Life VIP program, which you can apply to if you're interested. I am not doing open enrollment right now. I'm full, but for the right person, I'll make room for you. So Liz has done really well in the program, and I'm so grateful that she's on my team. So I present to you Lightning Liz. Listen to her story. It is staggering what she went through and where she is now. Completely different. Anyway, thank you for listening. And here we go. I'm Christy Code Red, and you're listening to Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle, where we believe food holds the power to heal or poison, and we believe our society has been misled regarding proper nutrition and weight loss. You're in the right place if you're looking for some straight up truth, because I'm here to shed light on the lies and brainwashing that has taken place over the past 5 decades. Thanks so much for listening. All right, welcome back, guys. Hey, Liz, I've been wanting to talk to Liz. Actually, I've been wanting Liz to talk to all of you for quite some time. And Liz has been with Code Red for quite a while now. And so I was able to finally get her on the video with you guys. She has got quite a story. And I'm going to just turn her loose and let her tell this story because I think you guys are going to be completely shocked when you hear the journey and everything that has happened to Liz in her life and taken her to this point right now where she's standing in before you guys and talking to you. This is unlike anyone we've ever had on before. And this story is very unique. So Liz, I've known you for a while now, and you're going on your second year in my VIP program. You won a VIP day with me. You've really inspired so many people. You've won the hearts of so many people in the community, but it wasn't always like this. So take us back as far as you want to go to tell us your story, paint a picture for us. How did it all happen that because you were thin and then you got big and Take us back. Tell us what happened. How did you get here?
Well, first, it's an absolute pleasure to be here, and you've inspired me and you've changed my life. But just let me tell you, I've done 25 years as a police officer, and I was a street cop, and I was out there for 25 years, doing the grind and just absolutely loving every minute of it. I mean, that is my dream job, being a cop out there helping people, finding bad guys. I mean, just making the public a safer place. And I excelled at that. I mean, I absolutely love my profession. And so when I joined, and I have a picture here I want to show you. When I joined, here I am in my 20s. I'm on beach team, thin, happy. Life is good, right? And so I creep along for 25 years just doing what I absolutely love. And at the pinnacle, the best part, the dream job, and I'm going to show it to you, motor cop. I was the only girl on my unit, and talk about absolutely awesome. I mean, that's just top of the world. But as I got further and older in being a police officer, I gained quite a bit of weight. And, it could be the stress of the job. It could be the drive-through that we're going through in the middle of the night just to get something to eat. It could be all that sugar and that caffeine and that comfort food that we eat just to function as a police officer. But I'm telling you, weight as a police officer, I have to be able to jump over a 6-foot wall. I have to be able to wrestle bad guys. I have to be able to be fit enough to survive out there in the field and to be able to function. So when I passed the motor academy, I was overweight, and it was very difficult to move that motorcycle around and just do the job. But I passed the motor academy. I was on the eligibility list, but my weight, it just brought me down because the motor lieutenant in charge of the motor unit at the time said there'll be no fat chicks on motors. He called me the fat butt. And so the old school motors ridiculed me, and I couldn't make it to the motor unit because I was overweight. Now I could still do the job and I excel at that, but weight held me back. So, but I did make motors eventually when he retired, and I showed to them that I could prove myself. I was the only girl on the unit. And so my last couple of years I was on the motor, life was wonderful. It was my dream job. So I'll tell you some of the symptoms that I had and how it hurt, how I lost all hope. I'm talking about body pain, and I'm talking about not being able to physically do the job. Near the end of my career, I had to go over a 6-foot wall, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't physically go over the wall. And I had to ask for a younger officer to come and do it. And that was very embarrassing to say that over the air as a police officer, because we should be able to do the job. Well, once I retired after 25 years, I let myself go. I wasn't working out. I wasn't active. I pretty much de-stressed and caught up on my sleep and just did what I wanted to do after serving for so long. And I could barely get off the floor anymore. I weighed 261 pounds.
Oh.
So this is a photo of me completely overweight at 261 pounds. Migraines, body ache. I was just losing myself. I pushed away my friends and family who were concerned about my health. I secluded myself, and I just wallowed in that seclusion. I had lost hope. And I'll tell you what changed it around. I was rock bottom, no hope. And my sister, who's going to be my accountability partner on Code Red, but my sister saw a Code Red rebel on a journey to lose 100 pounds. So it's that ripple effect. And it wasn't just the weight loss. That rebel had positiveness, happiness, and that spark. She just shone through. So my sister goes, "Who's Christy Code Red?" So we started with reading your Code Red Revolution book. We watched you on YouTube. And I'm like, who is this energetic lady with the bright blue mohawk? But what resounded with me was your message of hope and healing. Take your life back and pick your heart. So my sister and I joined a 30-day, 10-pound takedown challenge. That's when the brain fog lifted. I just felt absolutely amazing. And the accountability of my sister, both of us doing it. And it's just the weight fell off. I mean, real food, water, and sleep. I was unbelievable that it was so simple and it was easy. I mean, I'm eating ribeye steak and just, but let me show you. I lost 121 pounds. Watch this. Woo-hoo!
Oh my goodness.
I like that. And I'll tell you, on my goal weight day, I was looking so forward to this. On my goal weight day, I put my skinny motorcycle clothes back on and I went on that motorcycle ride. I mean, life is wonderful. And it's not about just the weight loss. I mean, I went in thinking just about losing weight. The hope is back. The confidence is back. I just sparkle. I'm adventurous again. I'm outgoing. It's just, Christy, it's all you. You motivated me. My sister and I just lost the weight together, and life is wonderful. So thank you.
This is such a great story. So Liz, you hit goal weight here a month ago or so.
Yeah, 3 weeks ago. I was just stoked.
It's just amazing. And I know that you put on a pair of jeans that you had been saving for a while, those Levi jeans, if I remember right. That was a great, I think you post about it.
Thank you. There was my button fly jeans I wore in high school. But let me show you. I'm in a size medium of your Code Red joggers.
Oh my goodness.
Oh. I'm saying Christy, I went out I extended my walk to 3 miles and I jogged almost a quarter of a mile. I haven't done that in 8 to 10 years. I mean, I went jogging.
Wow.
I'm just stoked. I can do push-ups on my knees. I haven't done the full push-ups like I used to do in the academy with full gear. But yeah, life is amazing.
Well, and just so everybody knows, I have the exact same joggers on right now. We live in them all the time. So, you know, when I'm thinking about I'm looking at you and you look so young, but yet you did 25 years on the force and now you're retired. And so at a really, if you look really young to me now, you must have been really, really young and heavy. How did that affect your confidence level being heavy and so young?
Well, it just smothers you. I was outgoing, adventurous. Heck, as a cop, I need to put myself out there and just help people. But it smothers you. The confidence smothers you. It's like you have a bubble around you that's enclosing in, and you miss that adventuresome, outgoing personality that I love. I mean, I'm dynamic and I just am full of energy and I just want to go out and do that. And losing the weight, gaining the weight, it shut myself off from the world. Like I said, I'm secluded and wallowing in that seclusion and I'm missing out on life. And it hurt. I mean, when I was a motor, my forearms were 3 times as big as this and my hands, because I got to grip the controls on my long shift. At night, I was in so much pain with my hand inflammation that I had to rub Traumeel ointment on my hands just to take the pain away so I can go to work the next day. And I was working at least 6 days a week with all the overtime and everything that I could barely function. I mean, I had to get on and off that bike and throw my leg over the saddle. And it was really, really hard to do that at 47. And then I retired at 50 and a half years old. And yeah, I'm 54, but I feel young, like back in high school again. I mean, I'm so excited about life right now. And you made that happen.
Wow. Well, I would have guessed you at my age, 44. So that's pretty incredible. You have definitely aged backwards. So I noticed that even though we have the Code Red protocol, which is weight loss for law enforcement and first responders, and we have a hard time. We seem to have a hard time breaking into that market and to be able to help the police officer, the firefighters, the first responders lose weight. Why do you think we're not able to we just can't seem to get our message across of real food, water, and sleep to these guys.
You're right. First responders, I mean, you've got the firefighters and the lifeguards and the probation officers, but you also have the active military and even men on Code Red. I mean, I don't see very many guys on Code Red as well. And I guess if I can explain it, as a first responder, we're the thin blue line. We're out there to protect and serve. And we don't cross that thin blue line to ask for help. I mean, we don't want the embarrassment of having to ask for help. So I'll tell you how I had to do it. I'll tell you how I had to bridge that gap, because here I am. I'm going to talk to you and ask you to coach me to lose my weight as a civilian. I'm crossing into that realm. I'll tell you how I got to do it. You have such a dynamic, charismatic personality, and you know what you're talking about. And so what I did is I twisted my brain. So you are my sergeant. You are my watch commander. Code Red rules and regulations are my policy and procedures, and I'm going to follow orders, and I'm not going to break those orders. So I was just strict when it comes to Code Red. I would never break the rules. So you were like my sergeant or watch commander, and I obeyed you because it was my job. So I took it as a job. But Christy, real food, water, and sleep, I mean, it's easy. I've had weight loss and regain that I have lost hope. But it's your delivery. It's your no nonsense, lead by example. It's the way you do it and the way that you care about your rebels. I mean, you put yourself out there and it really, really works. Yeah, it does.
That's just amazing. And I know that you're part of the Rebel for Life VIP program that I closed off to people, but people can do an application. How much has being that VIP, getting that personalized treatment, and you never use, I know the VIP, they have access to me. They can send me a direct email or questions, but I never hear, like, you don't really need much from me anymore. But how much has that VIP access, has that been a pretty big difference to you?
Oh, it makes a world of difference. Okay, so the coaching program is wonderful, but the Rebel for Life, especially the elite program that has access to you, because you're still coaching us. And I need that accountability every single day, because it's not just about weight loss. You have mindset, different ways of thinking. You have such an amazing viewpoint on life. I have upgraded my life in so many different areas, listening to you and following your example. So Rebel for Life, let me tell you that money can buy health and happiness. You absolutely, that money is there for your health. And I also look at it as an investment. And I'll tell you why. Because every dollar I send you, you're going to use that to help more rebels, and you're going to help more first responders and more active military. You're going to pour that money into Code Red, and you're going to reach more people with your hope and healing message. So Rebel for Life Elite is top notch. You give excellent top notch service, and I just feel cared about, and it really, really works, and it hones in. I'm on maintenance now, but your accountability, I'm not going to disobey you. I mean, I am going to go toe that line, and I'm going to make it for the rest of my life. And that's because I'm listening to you, because you know what you're talking about.
Man, well, you were the easiest person I've ever had come through the program, because like you said, you did everything I asked. I mean, you like bam, bam. I never had to worry about you cheating. So now that you have lost so much weight and you're so healthy, did your perspective of your future change? Are you kind of thinking, you know what, maybe I want to do this now that there's really no limit to what you can do?
There's been, you've inspired me here. There's been at least 3 areas that I am completely working on right now. One is I have a ripple effect as a Code Red Rebel. I am influencing a lot of people around me. I mean, some of my top buddies, they don't even recognize me when they see a recent photograph of me. And some of them are asking, hey, Liz, what are you doing? And if they're ready to ask, maybe they're ready to go see Christy Code Red and be a Code Red rebel. But my ripple effect, I'll tell you, my mom and dad, my mom has lost 40 pounds. My dad he's down about 30 pounds. They're not full Code Red, but they saw my sister and I, and they see that spark that I had, that dynamic wonderfulness that the real food, water, and sleep have made me just feel so wonderful, that happiness and positiveness. So the ripple effect. I'm also, and you inspired me to write. Once I retired, I became an author. I've written 3 novels, and I'm working my 4th book. Now, my 4th book is so powerful because I want to tell my story. And that story is an autobiography of me making motors. It took me 10 years to do that, to fight the fat butt comment and make it in a man's world, because I was the only female there. So I'm putting my story out there to hopefully inspire other people that they can do it too.
And do you want to tell us the name of your book?
Well, I have 2 titles for it. It's called The Fat Butt, One Female Police Officer's Story to Make It to the Motor Unit. But I also called it, Is It Worth It? So if you have a dream job, a goal, what are you willing to fight for? How hard are you willing to get there? When all the roadblocks happen and all the discrimination happens and everybody who ridicules me and calls me the fat butt, are you going to rise up to that challenge? So many things in society. Are you going to rise up to that challenge? What are you willing to fight for? So I'm already into it. And in a way, with your emotional eating, healing, the new mindset videos, ending your toxic relationship with food, this book was a healing for me to get through that dark side of emotional eating and to put out that positiveness. So it was healing and revealing, and it's so powerful, my message. And I'll tell you what's really good about it is in between the chapters I have, I'm telling you all my adventure cop stories. And so just to end, let me just tell you, Christy, you would make a great cop.
You're killing me. I want to be a cop.
Yes, you would make a great cop. I mean, oh yeah. I mean, you're out there just top-notch rad. I mean, I'm just telling you, you'd be wonderful.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I love it. I know that one of the big and you tell me if I'm right, but one of the big selling points, I guess, of Code Red is that we do have a very strong maintenance program. And now that you have been transferred into the maintenance program, I'm riding you guys pretty hard. Was that a pretty big selling point for you? Because you and I, we've lost and gained weight, lost and gained. So we know you can lose the weight, but keeping it off, we really train you how to keep that weight off. Was that a big selling point for you?
Let me just tell you, being in maintenance, it's a whole nother Code Red journey. I mean, but it took me 18 months to lose that 121 pounds. But let me tell you how your program really, really works. All your coaches, your self-carry, all your leaders, you put out mindset videos. You put out how to end your toxic relationship with food. You have the What's Eating You program that breaks that cycle of emotional eating. So that length of time in weight loss mode, twist that brain around. Now I'm on maintenance. I don't care about that comfort food, chocolate, Diet Coke. I don't even want that. So just to tell you, the first thing I wanted when I reached maintenance, I had a half of an apple. And it was wonderful that I could do that. And so I don't want that other stuff. So my brain has switched. Whereas the other programs where I just went right back to weight loss mode, they don't teach you the psychological part of emotional eating and stop those addiction and cravings that you have and that emotional dark want to go get a bowl of ice cream and go, face first into it. That's gone. All that wonderful videos that I have studied and watched and all the videos that I have researched, it's like I went back to school again. Code Red, it's like I went back to school and I'm learning my master's program on health and healing. So all that length of time has twisted all that dark negativity and positive. So I had my apple and I had my 2 tangerines, and that was my indulgence. And that's as far as I want to go.
That's amazing. I love it. Yeah. On Code Red, we transfer you into a maintenance program once you reach goal weight, and we teach you how to live there, because anyone can lose the weight, but can you keep it off? And Liz is going to make sure that she keeps it off. Well, so you have a nickname, Lightning Liz, like Christy Code Red.
Yes.
The Lightning Liz, where does that come from? Your cop days?
Well, I'll show you. Yes, it did come from my cop days, but hey, I wear lightning green leathers. Okay, so this jacket is over 20 years old. So when I decided to become a police officer, I took a career development class to find out what I wanted to do in college to the profession that I was suited to. Police officer was number 2. Just to make it fun, number 1 was a military drill sergeant.
Oh, yes.
All right. And which actually totally fits. I mean, I would be perfect in that. And number 3 was a florist. And I don't know where that came from. But when I went, I was a sophomore. And so when I went home that night, I was thinking cop. I mean, your dad was a sheriff. None of my family was cop. And I'm thinking cop, police officer. But that night when I was lying awake thinking about what do I want to do in life, lightning struck me. I mean, it just struck me and in my soul, and I just vibrated with that surge of energy. Police officer. That became my dream job. So when I got the lightning motorcycle leathers, and then when I first registered on social media, I mean, as cops, we don't really do that. You had to have a nickname because you don't want to be identified. So I said Lightning Liz. And so that stuck just like your Code Red name. Lightning Liz stuck with me for 15, 20 years. And then it started when I wanted to become a police officer. And when you feel that lightning spark, it's just amazing that you found your direction in life. Minor lightning start when I found Code Red. When I found it and it worked, it's like your bright blue mohawk. I mean, it's just like that. It really, really works.
I'm waiting for you to dye your hair. Liz, you gonna try one of these colors?
Hey, I get a number 1 on the sides because I got my hair short because I wore the motorcycle helmet.
Yep.
So I just kept it because it was short, and I don't know. Your mohawk is absolutely awesome. I mean, what color is her mohawk? This quarter, I can't wait because, you rock that mohawk. It absolutely fits your personality. It's just top-notch great.
I love this thing. So thank you. So what would you say to somebody, and there's plenty of people who are on the fence that you talk to people all the time. Your ripple effect is huge. What are you saying to folks when they are skeptical?
Well, first off, they have to be ready and they have to be able to want to ask for help. If they're not to that stage, I don't talk to them yet. But those that look at you and say, hey, what are you doing? Why do you feel so great? You look so great. I'd say the Code Red lifestyle, real food, water, and sleep. You got to check out Christy Code Red video. I mean, you're on videos everywhere and you just have free content. And that Revolution book is like, wow. And I'll tell you, I'm a writer now. Your writing style is amazing. It's like you talk directly to us and you could see your attitude in the way that you write. So you reach us. You're down to earth, you're real, you're authentic, you throw it all out there. But you reach us and you talk to us in a language that we can understand. And we need we really, all of us need you. I mean, you have such a great message for everybody. So I tell people, get your Code Red Revolution book and do your 30-day 10-pound takedown challenge, because you're going to teach us every day with the videos. And it's so eye-opening on what society is about weight and food. I had no idea. And here I am, a police officer with a lot of world knowledge. I had no idea that you don't know the traps of everything that you teach us. So I'm healthy and I feel great. And they see that spark, and people join your 10-pound takedown challenge. Commit for 30 days. It really works, and you really know what you're talking about.
Well, I cannot even thank you enough for coming on here, Liz, and sharing your story with us. Guys, 10poundtakedown.com is the place to go if you want to dip your toe into the lifestyle and figure out if it's for you. Really, we think that real food, water, and sleep is the proper human diet, and it's for everybody. But you've got to be okay with my method of delivering this. You've got to be okay with my coaching style. So 10poundtakedown.com, the number 10 POUND takedown.com. Liz, thank you again so very much. And guys, we will see you soon. Thanks for listening to this episode of Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle. If you're not subscribed already, please be sure to do that right now. And if you enjoyed this episode, I would love it if you could do me a quick favor and rate and review this podcast. That would be just so helpful. Speaking of health, let me know if I can help you. Go to coderedlifestyle.com, check out my programs, and see what we can do for you. Until next time, Rebel on.